Fez Show on 106.7 WJFK. Ron Bennington, Fez Whatley with you.
All right, Fezzy, I'm going to be a little bit ignorant here. I don't know if this is the PEW poll or the Pew polls that they do out of Europe.
I've always said Pew.
Yeah, because I never hear anybody say it out loud. So it's always made me a little nervous.
I just assume it's like a Pepe Le Pew poll.
But you don't think that somebody would want their poll called Pew because it stinks. All right, this is the way the U.S. is seen around the world by our friends and neighbors, okay? This is the poll that they're running. Great Britain, in the years 99 through 0, 83% of the people of Great Britain had a favorable feeling about the people of the United States and the government here.
Nice.
We've dropped down to 48%.
Wow.
In France, we were only at 62% during the good years.
I'm not shocked.
That has dropped down to 31 right now. So only 31% of the people in France feel good about the United States. In Germany, we were at a very high 78. We've dropped now, within 2 years, down to 25%.
Oh, my gosh, we're just hated in Europe.
Italy, where, you know, most of them have ended up coming here, 76% during the Clinton years. We've now dropped down to 34%. Poland, we were at 86. We've dropped down to 50.
Now, they love us in Poland. What went wrong in Poland?
The war on Iraq.
Oh.
And it's nothing that we've done to Poland in particular, but the people around the world do not like the idea of a bully United States. Russia, we were at a low 37. We've dropped down to 28.
That's also the temperature there.
Turkey, where our own Harry Elvis is from, his family, reading all the Turkish papers, we've went from 52% down to 12% approval rating.
Oh, my gosh, 12%.
Yeah.
And they were letting us, use some airspace.
Yeah, at the last possible second, even too late for us. We were so mad at that.
Air for money,
yeah.
I believe was the program.
So we've got to come up and, obviously the president is trying to get out there and shake hands again. But what are we going to do to get the people in the world to be our friends again?
Yes.
Or does it matter? Do we care?
This is President Bush's forced smile tour as he goes around Europe and the Middle East.
It reminds me of when your brother-in-law would come over to Thanksgiving for a half an hour. And then
that is my brother-in-law.
And then take the plate home. But do we care? Do we want these people to be our friends, or do we not care?
I think we have to care. There's too many of them. You can't have that many people hating you, or eventually nothing's going to get done. I mean, the problem is we're doing things without their cooperation anyway. That's why they're so mad. But I don't think that you can keep going on that course.
Right. And with the numbers like these, would you go to France for a vacation? Would you go to Italy for a vacation right now?
No, there's no way.
Yeah, I think I'm going to wait.
I wouldn't feel safe in any of those areas.
I've heard of...
Especially 12% Turkey.
Turkey, I don't care if they open up 2 Disney Worlds there and a Universal Studios. I'll never visit the Middle East.
I think my last sandwich was 12% turkey.
Finally. You're getting up to those kind of numbers.
Some white meat. Yeah, I think we need to do something. And I wonder if it's just a case of, hey, here's some money. A lot of those countries seem to like money.
All right, again, we do sound like that's the ugly American, where we've done something that you don't like, but here's a couple of bucks. And you know what? The governments there might like us, but we're talking about the people on the street. The people who, like we said, during 99, have felt very good about being friends with the United States.
See, with some of those countries, it seems like it took so long to get even those approval ratings in 99.
Yeah, we had to get out of the Reagan years. So
it's really going to be a long haul back if we want to feel popular again.
Yeah, we are probably going to have to elect Jesse Jackson, somebody who can go out there and make up.
You know what? That's exactly what it's going to take. It's going to take somebody in the White House that they like. That's exactly what it's going to take.
I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but there's been tons of commercials and, magazine ads and stuff like that to, visit Turkey. There's this beautiful landscape.
Are these some of the commercials you're shooting?
No, but, I mean, it's, beautiful landscapes and stuff, trying to make it seem like, oh, it's just such a beautiful place.
I wonder where they're being filmed at.
You know what it is? I've seen this commercial. It's come for our beaches, stay for our hashish. I have never seen a come to beautiful Turkey. Is that Morocco? Is that where Turkey is? I get so confused over there.
No, Morocco's in Africa.
Well, whatever. Morocco, I'd go. That's where I'd smoke hash.
It's got like pictures of this beautiful landscape, like sparkling blue waters and stuff like that. And it's
Are you sure you didn't watch Star Wars and you're looking at Tatooine?
All right, let me just say this, Roy. It could, the girls, their asses could be made out of ice cream, but I ain't going over there. I'm not going. I'm a little too nervous, being that the place is filled with Turks.
Ass cream.
And I'm flying over on Hostage Airlines. It ain't gonna happen.
You're not gonna take the Midnight Express over?
No. I watch Midnight Express.
And I'm almost positive that their slogan is "Turkey welcomes you."
That's the best they could come up with.
Turkey tricked you into showing up.
I wouldn't go to Turkey on Thanksgiving. Here's Pete. Pete, you're on Ron and Fez.
Pete.
Hi. How you guys doing?
Good.
Hey, I think that we really shouldn't care what the hell the rest of the world thinks. We live for us, not for them.
Yeah, but you know what? We're bragging.
If you were saying to Fez, hey, none of my friends like me, so I'm going to change the way I am, they say you're ridiculous. Be who you are, not what other people want you to be.
Well, but is this who we want to be? I mean, at certain times, let's say with your family, sometimes you got to go out there and try to mend the fences. You did something drunk and crazy.
We do that all the time.
Like invaded Iraq.
When there's an
that was a bender. That was a U.S. bender.
Yeah, we got a little buzz.
When there's an earthquake, the United States is there. When there's help, we're already there helping. We give the whole world a ton of help, so that's our goodwill.
All right, I know that you see it that way, but here's the thing. They are not seeing us that way. We're not getting that across.
Yeah, meanwhile, they're still a third world. They don't know anything.
All right, no, we're not talking about the third world. We're talking about Italy and France and England.
The Euro nation.
And none of them has earthquakes. So that's not going to get over big with them.
Damn, that's really where we shine.
All right, thanks, Petey. I understand what you're saying. I watch the commercials, and I feel good whenever we do something. I would like us to do more good stuff, because I love feeling good.
We just have... These countries, France in particular, does not like the man who's in the White House. They're never going to like that man who's in the White House. And that is their image. When there's another Bill Clinton in the office, someone who's more personable...
And doesn't invade as much.
Yes, and less abrasive. Let's put it that way.
Uses the army a lot less.
Then they're going to come back around.
All right.
It's not going to be until then.
So you're saying John Kerry's the man for us?
Why would anyone think Lurch is personable? That man scares me. At his inauguration, he's going to say, "You rang?"
Yes, he's tall. I don't think he should be penalized for that.
Does he have eyes? Let me ask you about John Kerry.
Deep set.
They're really deep set.
Here's Steve. Steve, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Buddy.
2 foolproof ways for Italy to like us.
Yeah.
Send our best contractors over there, fix that damn tower, and let's go pump out Venice. Let's get that water out of the streets. They'll love us.
All right, thank you very much. Maybe if we sop up the streets of Venice, we're back in the 18th.
Send some sponges over there, some sponge teams. All right, Ronnie, tomorrow, Martha Stewart may be facing federal indictments.
Now, I'm fairly naive about the insider trading thing. I watched Wall Street and still didn't understand what he did wrong at the end.
I think Blue Star likes Blue Horseshoe.
Yeah, whatever that is about. And I feel the exact way of when I'm trying to follow this Martha Stewart situation. I don't really completely understand what she did wrong and why it's such a big deal.
Something bad is going to happen to Martha Stewart in the next couple of days because her company is coming out and saying that she's possibly facing charges. So if they're going to go ahead and shoot the gun now, something's coming.
Oh, yeah. Something's coming.
Something's coming.
She is definitely going to face these charges. What that exactly means, I don't know, Fez. I've never been able to completely follow any of the real Wall Street scandals. Mikey D., you worked on Wall Street. Yeah. What's going to happen to Miss Stewart?
I think at best she will have to resign from her company.
All right, now here's the thing. Her company is her. That would be like saying Ron and Fez are going to resign from the Ron and Fez show, but the Ron and Fez show will go on. Don't worry.
No, it's not the same because you guys are, you're celebrities. I mean, you're doing...
And Martha Stewart's just a ham and egg.
Right. No, we're doing nights on WJFK. We're huge. What the hell are you talking about, Mikey?
There's there's a board, so they'll take over.
But it's Martha Stewart products. That's why people go there. No one's going there because it's a nice dish.
But the products will still be there. She just can't run her company.
Who is going to want to buy a basket that you can make yourself if Martha Stewart hasn't hypnotized you into doing it? There is no reason for any of these products unless you're buying her gimmick.
She won't be banned from doing commercials or doing her show. She'll just be banned from running her company.
So they'll have to hire her.
Right.
So this is nothing, basically.
So now she'll be a spokesmodel.
It really isn't that bad.
Yeah.
They're just making her as a scapegoat.
Is this another one of the things where the media is just having a lot of fun taking the old bitch down a peg?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because you know that as many people, and Martha Stewart had a lot of fans. I mean, very, very successful people. If she was doing TV, they showed up. If she was selling a book, they showed up. She made these stupid products, they showed up. So, but at the same time, like with Michael Jackson or something, when people get popular, there's a whole other side that dislikes them. And Martha Stewart was one of those people.
Yeah, where people like saying that, they like to hear the stories that she was really bitchy behind the scenes. They wanted to hear that she's popping a cork, like in that Martha Stewart movie on NBC a couple weeks back.
I didn't see it, but I saw some of the clips on Letterman.
I know, and they seemed hysterical.
And if I'm Ronald Reagan, I go, wait a minute, I don't want them doing a movie about me. I saw what they did to poor Martha Stewart.
They'll have Ronald Reagan throwing a pot at somebody.
All right, Martha Stewart, maybe she's guilty and maybe her whole life is a sham, but for an older woman, I find her oddly hot.
Really?
Oddly sexy.
I don't see it.
I'd wax that old ass. That's what I'm saying.
I think that's a new line of her products.
You're saying no?
No, I don't see it.
Mikey D, what do you think?
I'm with you.
All right, you're going to go with me?
Yeah.
Any of the guys not to her? Oh, look, all the gay guys raised their hands. Of course, Harry wouldn't.
Harry's afraid of her. So Martha Stewart tomorrow could be charges ranging anywhere from insider trading to obstruction of justice. Ronnie, now scientists, they're ready to dig up another dead guy. This is amazing to me. They want to dig up Christopher Columbus's remains in Seville, Spain. They think they want to test the remains to see if that's really Columbus there or if the real Columbus is in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic.
All right, here's the weird part of this. Why bother burying somebody? They dig them up and they do tests on them. It's supposed to be rest in peace. Who gives two F's where Christopher Columbus is? Leave these old bones alone.
They do this all the time. I don't know why the obsession of trying to dig up famous dead people. They tried to dig up a Jesse James again like a month ago, and all they've been doing is digging up people that aren't Jesse James.
And why hassle them? I hope the ghosts come back and haunt these people. That's why I think I'm going to have my bones crushed up and burnt. And just get rid of them. Just throw them in the ocean or smoke them. I don't want to be laying there in a box and have somebody dig me up and start DNAing me.
Then they'll be in a bathysphere combing the ocean floor to see if that's really you down there. And I'll fund it.
It's just ridiculous, though. But if you leave your bones behind, Fuzzy, they're going to clone your ass.
Now,
and then use you as some kind of a sex slave.
One thing that amazes me is that they have Christopher Columbus descendants that they say they can check the DNA against.
Well, that's only, 400 years, 500 years?
Yeah, 500 years.
Yeah, 500 years. In Spain and Italy, they've kind of followed their bloodlines more than we do. I mean, most of us can go back a couple of hundred years in this country. But I think in Europe, since the records and all are older and people know, what town. I mean, a lot of those inbred towns in some of those places, they're just marrying sisters and cousins.
I don't think I could be linked to my grandfather at this point.
Here's Mike. Mike, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, fellas.
Yeah.
I always hear you guys say you're scientists first, and you
First and foremost, yes.
If you dig someone up who lived in the 1500s, how the hell are you going to tell if it's them if you don't have any DNA to go by? At that point, shouldn't you be ashes anyways? Just dust?
No, because you can have those old bones, right?
Okay,
yeah, and they do some sort of embalming then.
Yeah. You pop the casket and you're seeing a box of bones. How are you going to know it's really Columbus?
All right, they're testing that DNA against his bloodline because there is records in Europe of that bloodline, just like the Queen can go all the way back probably 800 years, and they follow along through actual records. so that they know that these people should have matching DNA.
Oh, all right.
All right?
Dr.
See you later. Yeah, no problem at all.
Yeah, so they got some Christopher Columbus great-great-great-great-great-great-grandkids.
You know, you got to remember, my partner Fez got his doctorate in the genetics, so, and I was a shop major. I have a GED, basically, but most of the time it was just pure shop.
Ronnie, here's the new urban myth that's going around. I hope it's a rumor. Did you ever see the movie The Ring?
Yes, I did. It was the worst movie of all time, and then Rory tried to give it to me to take home last night.
That's no rumor. So Naomi Watts from The Ring, she's Australian, she says she's tired of reports that she had to rush her dog to the vet because it ate a bag of high-grade pot. And she says her dog has a neurological disorder, and she's tired of people saying that it ate pot.
What dog couldn't ride out some high-grade pot? No matter how high-grade it is, you're just riding it out. It's organic. What's the big deal?
So what is, like, your very favorite celebrity urban myth or rumor that's always out there?
All right, there's 3 things in it. Mikey D, Richard Gere, and a gerbil. There's my favorite.
I like that one, too.
That one won't go away, and there's no truth to it at all.
None?
Not the smallest shred of truth. The other big urban myth that has been around literally most of my life, Rod Stewart and the soccer team. Again, not a shred of truth. I don't know whether anyone has ever drunk so much spunk that they had to be rushed to the hospital, let alone a rock star.
Apparently there was a quart. That was always the story.
People lie. They lie like crazy with their urban myths.
So Naomi Watts wants people to quit lying about her dog eating pot.
I can't believe anybody even remembers her from this movie because the movie stank on ice.
She probably gave her dog pot to eat just to get back in the papers.
Nobody's going to feed their dog pot, and no dog is going to have problems eating a little bit of weed.
The only thing that I used to do to my cats was, like, blow it in their faces and see how...
What do you think? Did you think you invented that?
No.
You think the rest of us did not have a kerchief around our dog's heads and was giving it shotguns?
But one of the cats died. He had, like...
From the pot?
From being high?
He had something wrong with the heart because we used to blow smoke.
Now, why wouldn't you die?
Secondhand smoke.
I don't think that could be true. Like, I think it
was myopia, something myopia for the cat, and the cat was like 5 years old, and we had blown smoke, and all of it...
doing it all day, every day?
Oh, yeah, it was like years ago. It was like 1985 or something like that. We had been blowing smoke all day for weeks with this cat because the cat would bug out.
Doing your cat experiments.
And then all of a sudden, he turned around and went meow and just, like, went down, and that was it. The next day he was dead because of some heart failure or something like that. Now, I don't know if that was the pot, but...
I don't think it was. I don't think that you can kill a dog or a cat from pot. Unless you literally just had it in an incinerator. Here is Paulie. Paulie, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Paulie.
Fellas, what's up?
Hey, buddy.
What can we do for you?
I want to get in on my favorite celebrity myth.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fez is straight.
That is no myth. Dry land is not a myth.
First of all, I've never even heard that one. And I listen for all the weird rumors, and that one's never popped up at all.
That is not a weird rumor.
Hugh, When Somebody Loved Me from Toy Story 2.
I don't think they've found it yet.
They're still looking. In the meantime, Rory sent Harry out for burgers. So he doesn't have the song, but Harry has come back with a sack of birds.
Well, as long as we have some sandwiches, that's all that counts.
Wonderboy, you're on the short list that I tore in half. Hey, here's our buddy Jonathan. I'm glad to know you made it home last night. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, it only took us till about, I think, 9 o'clock this morning to get home, but...
You're whacked.
Yeah, pretty much. I wanted to ring in on the dog-eating pot thing, though.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense to me when I heard it earlier. So I don't know if you guys have tried this. If you eat raw pot, nothing happens to you. What you have to do in order to activate THC is you have to heat it to a certain temperature. That's why it works when you smoke it or when you cook it in brownies or something like that. But if you ate it straight, nothing happens. So I don't think anything really happened.
I didn't know that.
I'll tell you this. If you eat a chunk of hash, you'll get high, my friend.
Well,
Very high.
Hash has been treated somehow.
Very high.
Sticky state.
We know. We get it.
I mean,
All right.
tripping. That
But
kind
anyway,
of
I'm working. I got to run.
All right, see you later. All right, so you have to cook the hash first. You ever eat hash brownies?
I've eaten hash. I haven't eaten hash brownies.
Yeah.
Corned beef hash?
No.
You ever had space cakes? A little weed, a little hash, everything mixed up together. How you doing?
We've had a few things.
I'm sure you have.
You and the cat.
You been to Amsterdam?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
It was him and Cat Stevens.
Yeah, put the cat out. That's what I was screaming. Put the cat out. I don't know, I don't even follow a lot of those urban myths, and it actually, most of the time, they infuriate me. Because they're such lies. And people lie about their lies. And they'll say they happened to their cousin, and it just drives me insane.
Well, everybody knows someone who saw the Johnny Carson, Jane Fonda episode.
Right.
Zsa Zsa Gabor.
They all know it for a fact. Take your paw off it, Billy. Take your big thumb off of it. Thank you, Billy. Billy, take your thumb off of it. Thank you. Gary, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, Gary.
Yeah, my favorite urban myth is the one about Jamie Lee Curtis, that she was born with the male apparatus.
Now, we were stupid enough one time, Fez and I had her mother on the show and asked her about it because our producer at the time told us that it was true and they had talked about it on the Donahue show.
That our producer said she actually saw Janet Leigh and Jamie Lee Curtis discussing this with Phil Donahue.
Right.
Well, Tony Curtis discussed it on an interview I saw once, too, and he also poo-pooed it.
Of course he did.
Did you think you would verify?
866-277-4969. Of course he did. You think Christopher Guest is going to marry a woman who's got a dink right next to it?
He might.
But like a couple of idiots. We said, I understand your daughter was born with male and female chromosomes.
What?
And then the great Janet Leigh, one of the great starlets of our time,
I can't look at you.
proceeds to rip us a new ass, hangs up, calls back, rips us another ass, and hangs up on us.
And that was her day.
And at the time, and whenever she would stop, I would go, I really enjoyed Psycho. You sons of bitches, blah, 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 blah. What was it like working on Bye Bye Birdie? God damn you for what you've said to me and about my family. I ought to sue you both.
Is this your idea of a joke? Is this why you had me on the air?
No, we just honestly believed in all
No, Miss Lee.
In our heart of hearts, we thought this was a true story.
And by the way, it is Tony Curtis's birthday today.
Let me try to guess how old he is. Tony Curtis, I'm going to say 74.
74? No, Mikey D, you got a guess?
71.
Higher on both counts. Tony Curtis is 78 years old today.
Wow. No, at that point you start saying 78 years young.
And he also got a very nice card from his son, Jamie Lee.
That's just mean. That's just pure meanness.
Chuck Barris, born today.
73 years old.
73, Mikey D, you want to take a shot?
I'll go with 71 again.
Chuck Barris is 74 years old.
All right, Mikey, you're just going to guess that everybody's 71 no matter what we're doing?
No.
I guess 71. Yeah, 71.
Definitely 71.
Definitely.
And Susie Quattro has a birthday today.
Wow, the great leather Tuscadero?
Yes.
Mikey, you want to go first?
I would say 47.
No, much older. I say she's in her 50s. 52.
Very close, Ronnie. Susie Quattro is 53 today.
Ah.
And the gang will be throwing a surprise party at Arnold's later on.
Nice. We'll take a break. We're right back. Ron and Fez.